Well, there you go. You blast yourself one lump of rock and all you've got's another.
No, wait a minute! Look!
Man, you just blew yourself a pair of doors. Well, come on! What are we waiting for?
Elated, the expedition party begins to scramble up the cliff with Cybermen leading the way. The group's financiers, Eric Klieg and the woman Kaftan, follow close behind him. At last, they reach a ledge where two massive doors are exposed in the blasted rock. Two giant silver figures are embossed in the metal on either side, as if guarding the entrance. The expedition stands for a moment, breathless and awestruck. It is Kaftan who breaks the silence.
£50 for the first man to open the doors.
Miss Kaufman, I must remind you that I am the leader of the...
One of Captain Hopper's crewmen steps forward. He approaches the doors and lifts his hands to grasp the handles. There's a blinding flash, and the man's body jerks and spasms before toppling to the ground.
What happened?
I don't know.
Well, one thing for sure. He's not going to collect £50 from you or anybody else.
Quiet. Quiet a minute.
What's that?
Sounded like an engine. Something came down over there, behind that rock.
Okay, Viner, slow down. I'll take care of this. Jim?
Okay, I've got it.
Captain Hopper and Jim Callum cross to the next ridge and duck out of sight, their guns drawn. Parry and Rogers follow. The Doctor, Victoria and Jamie appear, the Doctor leading a nervous Victoria by the hand, while Jamie, resplendent as usual in his clan tartan, brings up the rear.
Hold it right there, friend.
If you put it like that, I certainly will.
Did you hear that, Professor? English.
Yes. All right, Hopper.
The captain lowers his gun.
Thank you. Who are you and where do you come from?
And you'd better have a good story.
Maybe you'll not get one.
Listen, fella, we're not playing games.
You'd better listen to him.
What's been happening over here?
The Doctor makes his way down to the ledge and stoops to examine the dead crewman.
He was killed the moment you made your appearance.
Ah, and you think we did it? Oh, no, I can assure you we had nothing to do with the death of this man. He appears to have been electrocuted. Trying to open these doors, perhaps?
He seems to know all the answers.
Wise guy.
I think this fellow must be a member of a rival expedition.
Expedition?
We've tried to keep it secret. Unsuccessfully, it now appears.
Look at him. Archaeologists written all over him.
Really doesn't show.
There, you see? It's impossible to keep a secret in the scientific world.
Doctor, what do you mean?
Tell them, Doctor. Go on, tell them. No, not until they tell us the purpose of their expedition.
This is an archaeological expedition. We're searching the universe for the last remains of the Cybermen.
Cybermen? You mean to say they came from here?
But of course. Telos was their home. This is the entrance to their city.
We know they died out many centuries ago. What we don't know is why they died out.
Callum, Rogers, get him back to the rocket. I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
Well, that's that. Are you coming back to the rocket with me, Professor?
What for?
You're not going on with this, are you? Look, I don't know if these people had anything to do with it or not, but one of my men has just been killed. You're not paying that kind of money.
Yes, I suppose that's quite true.
Now, you think it over. Come on, let's go. We'll wait for you back at the ship.
The problem, I take it, is to open these doors, right?
Ha! Brilliant.
That is the problem.
And we would prefer it if you return to wherever you came from.
Oh, not very friendly, are they, Doctor?
Oh, yes, do as he
I'm
says.
afraid that became impossible the moment that name was mentioned.
What name?
Cybermen.
Cybermen. What are they?
I knew they were here on the same quest.
No one would come here for any other reason.
We must stay. Oh, Doctor.
Oh, must we? I don't like the look of those things at all.
We shall stay and help you with your search.
Of course, we don't want your help.
That's just it you so obviously do. Now, I'm sure we can agree. I can open those doors for you.
It's our problem. And I suggest you take this ridiculous expedition of yours off this planet.
It seems to me we have as much right here as you have.
Of course you have. Mr. Klieg, must I remind you again that you do not speak for this expedition? I am its leader. You and Miss Kaftan are only here on sufferance.
Well, thank you. And whose money is paying for the hire of that rocket?
Mine.
I thought I made it quite clear that your financial support did not entitle you to a say in the running of this expedition.
Of course, it was quite clear. Was it not, Eric?
Of course. No one questions your leadership.
Ah, good. That's all settled. And now,
we shall open these doors.
What?
Oh, careful, man! Hey, look out!
Doctor!
Taking a small device from his pocket, the doctor places it briefly against the huge silver handles. He checks the reading on the dial.
Perfectly safe now.
You'll be killed! No, don't touch him!
Reaching up, the doctor tries to pull the doors open.
I'm afraid it's beyond my strength.
Let me, Doctor.
Boldly, Jamie steps forward.
Hi, well, I've not had much exercise lately.
Quite. I think here is a gentleman who could open these doors for us.
He is my servant. I will not have him risk his life.
Surely it was just for such a contingency as this that you insisted we bring him with us.
Oh, there's no danger now. Unless, of course, he's afraid. No, he's not afraid.
Without a word, Toberman moves to the doors and wraps his large hands around the handles. At last, inch by inch, the doors swing apart. Beyond the doors is a cavernous room, one wall of which is dominated by a complex console of dials and levers.
No, wait! I would be very careful in there if I were you.
But why wasn't Toberman killed? Why weren't you killed?
The poor fellow who died drained all the electricity out of his body. It's perfectly safe to go in there now.
Oh, come on, then, we're wasting time. Of course, after you, Professor.
But I'd still be very careful if I were you. Very careful indeed. Come on, let's go and join him. Come on, Victoria.
Filled with foreboding, Victoria does not move.
You look very nice in that dress, Victoria.
Thank you. Don't you think it's a bit...
A bit short? Oh, I shouldn't worry about that. Look at Jamie's.
Hey, I'll have you know that...
Oh, why? Come along, let's go and see what the others are doing, shall we? Come along.
High above the main panel is a large clock face, decorated with alien hieroglyphics. A raised hatchway, like the conning tower of a submarine, is set into the floor on one side of the room.
Mercy! Just look at this place.
These controls are of the earlier dynasties.
Not so very early by the look of it. Look, John, yes, I'm quite capable of making my own deductions, thank you. All right.
Kaftan is investigating the hatchway.
Be careful. There might be danger in there.
Don't worry. With Toberman to guard me, what is more important is to keep an eye on these strangers.
Well, I tried
Do
to
not
get...
raise your voice. You will achieve nothing by shouting. You look after the doctor, and I will watch the girl.
Scott's boy?
Leave him to Toberman. Toberman? But you will be careful and discreet. Understand?
I understand.
You ever see the like of it, Doctor?
Not exactly, Jamie, but very nearly.
Now that we're all here, I think we'd better take stock of the situation. This appears to be a dead end. The only way out appears to be through that hatch.
Are there no doors?
No, apart from the entrance.
And the other two, of course.
Two other doors?
Oh, yes. One in that section, and one in that section over there. Activated, I imagine, by this simple logical system here. Here we are, I think. Yes, splendid. A simple logical gate.
Doctor, you seem to be very familiar with this place.
Oh, no, not really. It's all based on symbolic logic, the same as you use in computers. The opening mechanism for this door, an OR gate, you call it.
Yes, I can see that, but how did you know in the first place?
Oh, I use my own special technique.
Oh, really, Doctor? And may we know what that is?
Keeping my eyes open and my mouth shut.
We're far too many to explore together. I think we'd better divide up. If you, Mr. Viner, would take that door with Jamie and Mr. Hayden, Mr. Cleek, the doctor, and myself will make up the other party.
Well, what about us?
I think the women had better remain here.
Rubbish. We can make a party.
Certainly. With Toberman to guard us, we need fear no one.
Right. Mr. Cleek, will you take them along with you?
I prefer to stay here.
As you wish. Mr. Viner, will you go along with the women?
If you like.
But get back to the spacecraft by 16:30. You all know the temperature drop at night, so we'll meet back here at 16:25. If anyone is missing, that'll give us an hour to look for them before we have to...